Previously on the Vampire Diaries.
Slow it down. Sipping on propane. Sipping on propane. Sipping on.
Have you had any blackouts? Instances of lost time?
Listening to scissor, yeah, sipping on some scissor, riding with Rodrigo while she's driving through the suburbs. Jeremy's ghost exes, right? Sending him ghost texts. I bet before they left he got to get him some ghost beat. Okay, let's go. Pour out the brothers bond. Season 4's coming on. Ashley Pete chop it up about what's going on. Devin is 8 for me, trying to kill OGs. Tyler hybrid side. Caroline turns 18. Here comes season 4. Someone bolt the door. Get the diary out. It's time for fan meeting now. Woo!
All it's best you had to drop a human blood. Since a knife running drive a lane off of a great bridge.
Hello, welcome to the Vampire Diaries, the Vampire Diaries podcast, where a guy is watching the series for the first time with a superfan who has seen every episode. I'm the titular PD. Let's just say I put the PD in Vampire. But please call me Pete, and I'm here with my co-host and co-parent Ash. Hello, Ash.
Hello, Pete.
Ash, by popular demand of no one.
Okay.
I have some, you might be a bite next.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You might be a bite next.
Remember?
Yes.
Remember that?
Oh my god. That was the goofiest thing.
All right, these are, you might be a bite neck. If your lifelong goal is to own a blood bank, you might be a bite neck. If your date asks you what... I'm doing a terrible job. All right.
All right, take a breath.
If your date asks you what's your type and you say, oh, positive, you might be a bite neck.
There you go.
If your mom tells you to make your bed and you start building a coffin, you just might be a bite neck. If you don't think a Bloody Mary is a drink, it's catching your neighbor named Mary and sucking her blood, you might be a bite neck. Mm-hmm. And lastly, if you have an assistant, but their job isn't to go to Starbucks and get you coffee, it's to lure young people back to your castle on the edge of a cliff so you can bite their neck, you might be a bite neck.
That one was a long one. Oh my gosh.
Ash.
I had this premise, but I had no ideas. So you followed through.
I followed through a little bit. Ash, that was a joy to work on for probably 3 minutes.
There you go.
Yesterday or today.
Well, we thank you for it.
Ash, season 4, episode 15. 15? 15.
Uh-oh. You better silence your phone.
Stand By Me. Mm-hmm. What comes to mind when you hear Stand By Me?
I know it's a song and a movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know the song?
Yeah. Stand by me. Stand by me.
You know the movie?
I don't know the movie as well as the song. I don't know that I've actually seen it. I know it's like a 80s kind of classic.
An 80s classic by none other than Stephen King.
Oh, it is? Mm-hmm. Oh, it's one of your Stevies.
Yes, but it's not a horror per se. It's more of a coming of age.
Why haven't you shown me the Stevie or made me read it? Do you have it?
It's either a novella or a short story, and I believe I do have it. Don't put me on the spot. It might be in different seasons over there, but it's it's not a whole novel.
Would you like to share with the group about how many Stephen King books you might actually own?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever counted them. There's 2 rows.
There's probably like 20 in each box. Mm-hmm. So maybe like 40 or 50 books.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. That's a lot of Stevies.
More on a certain Stephen King book at the end of this episode.
Oh, okay.
A little tweezer at the end. Mm-hmm. But Ash, we're not here to talk about being a bite neck, nor about Stephen King.
No.
Although those could be podcasts of their own.
They might be.
You might be a bite neck.
No, I mean, there's no Stephen King pod.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, there's so many Stephen King pods. And they're more knowledgeable than I. I'm just a fan.
It's good to be just a fan. You don't have to make everything that you're interested in, like, work, you know?
Right. You got me watching Steve.
But
You say I'm just a fan. All right, lots of silly stuff going on. But Ash, this is not necessarily a silly episode of the very show that we actually do speak of.
No, this was a serious one. I almost want to get your rating at the top.
I think it was a great ep.
I thought it was a great ep too. And I had my, like, declaration about not giving it two fangs without Stefan and Elena together. But this might break that.
I think that if anything is a two-fang in season 4 so far, then this has got to be one.
Yeah, it's such a good episode.
Yeah. Pretty major stuff going on. Especially in the cold open. All right. I said broken picture frame. By the way, pug snoring in the background. Our tummies aren't making weird sounds.
Classic pug snore.
I said, is that Catherine holding it? And then I was like, or is it Elena flashing back? Which actually the very first shot was a flash forward into later in the episode.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's good that you noticed there was something a little bit off about it. You're like, what is this?
Which I wrote, is it Elena flashing back to when Jeremy died? Because she's looking at a picture of young her and young Jeremy. And so I sensed something. I mean, we did see him get his neck cracked and stuff like that.
But you predicted last week that he was going to be alive.
Yes. And for the whole episode, watching this episode, I still was like, he's alive, he's alive. I was on the Elena train on this one. All right. Elena. Okay, so then we go back to sort of like the actual scene of the whole, what's his name, Silas? The whole Silas of it all, Shane and Silas.
Yeah.
The whole Silas of it all, snapping his neck or whatever, and him laying and looking. Okay, so we're back there. Elena runs to save Jeremy. He is wearing his ring.
Right.
So we see that. Stefan watches. Stefan and Damon do exposition about what just happened last episode, but they're like, where's Bonnie?
Yeah, because Bonnie was in that, like, tomb room with Jeremy, and then now she's not. And like, she had gotten injured, so, like, you would expect her to be there, but she's gone.
When we used to live in L.A., did you ever go to the tomb room? I think it was on Sunset.
Oh, yeah. Often.
Jeremy was one of the 5.
Weirdly, I'd actually been to the Toon Room.
Yeah, what's that?
At Disney.
Oh, okay. I think there's like a Tonga room or something over there. The Toon Room. Did you get dipped in the dip?
Yep. The dip, man, that's crazy.
That was scary. Speaking of scary stuff.
Roger Rabbit, y'all, if you don't know.
Roger Rabbit. Chippendale. 2 of a kind. Right. The ring, Ash, won't work anymore on Jeremy because he's supernatural.
Because he's one of the 5.
Ash said in that moment that Pete should be shocked.
I was like, oh my God. I had to pause. I was like, what do you think? I needed to know.
And I wrote, so is Jeremy really dead? I don't think that.
You're still skeptical.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you have to learn through watching this show that nothing is ever as it seems.
Well, right.
But then sometimes it is, and you're like, oh my gosh, that is actually it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if Bonnie can't bring him back or whatever's happening, he's going to be a ghost bro. We're all stars now.
Yeah, but he's the only one who
With a
can...
ghost bro.
He's the only one who can see ghosts.
What about Matt?
Well, only when he was near death.
Well, Matt might start death edging to see his bro. All right, Stefan brings in Jeremy into the house. Caroline is there. They put him on the bed. Elena's just going to wait for him to wake up. All right, here's my question. how long did it take to get back from Nova Scotia?
I thought about this too.
And I think later in this, they talk about like the plane they got on or whatever. They just chartered some plane.
Yeah.
I guess the bros are rich enough that they just took some plane.
Well, I mean, like we said the first time that they flew to Nova Scotia, we needed a whole airport scene that we missed, and I feel like it's missing in this one also. I know there's no way they could have taken an airplane, because were they going to carry this dead body in a blanket on an airplane? So yeah, they either chartered like private plane or they just island hopped as vampires, which would also be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, whoosh, whoosh.
They're just whooshing.
I mean, I don't know where Nova Scotia is.
I don't think I could say clearly.
So who
either.
knows? Is it a dinghy ride away? Because they rode a dinghy over there.
I mean, I think it's far from Georgia.
Right. Well,
Or Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah, Virginia.
I mean, is it just
Real
off
life
the
here.
coast of Delaware? We don't know.
I think we would know, because it's not that far from where we live.
If Nova Scotia was over there.
Yeah.
So
We would be having friends being like, yeah, I'm going to go to Nova Scotia for the weekend or whatever.
Right. And we'd be like, no, don't.
Silas is there.
Silas is there. How did Silas, by the way? Oh, wait, he hasn't gone mainland yet. He's still in Nova Scotia.
Well,
Right? Oh, no. I mean, I know he's in, but wait, Shane, I know he's in Shane's body, but he's back in Mystic Falls?
no, Shane's body was on the island.
No, but Silas.
Well, I mean, it's ambiguous, but you did a mid-episode
I know, but
prediction.
are they in Mystic Falls when I predicted that?
Yeah, they were in
Okay,
Mystic
that's
Falls when you predicted that.
I'm not there yet, so I just want you to tell me.
Well, it's
Okay.
hard to know what I can say and what I can't say.
All right. So Silas, them having the S and it's like 5 letters is messing me up.
It's tough.
Damon is in Nova Scotia.
He stayed, yeah, to look for Bonnie.
He gets H for B. Mm-hmm. He's at an old shack. Mm-hmm. Rebecca sneaks up, asks where's the cure. Catherine has the cure.
Right. And she's like, well, we have to find Catherine. He's like, there's no way Catherine got the cure and just stayed on the island.
No. Oh, hold up. What's the cure do? It cures
Immortality.
Okay, that wouldn't necessarily help Jeremy. All right. She must, unless they're like, if you give it to a dead person,
Yeah.
they come alive.
They just found out like 3 hours ago that there was only one. And, so they keep finding out new stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm skeptic about Jeremy's continuance.
Yeah. I wasn't like a super huge fan of Jeremy watching the first time, but I really like him this round, rewatching with you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm actually more sad about it.
Yeah. Season 1, he wasn't the best, but he ingratiates himself. Is that a word? I don't know. He is better now.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
He is gooder. I like him more now. All right. Catherine must have been spying on this whole crew for weeks. Mm-hmm. And beware of Silas. He's awake now, which, if we don't see him as a little golem guy at some point, I'm going to be a little smad. And also he is a shapeshifter because he didn't even hop into Shane's body because Shane is still with his hurt leg on Nova Scotia. So he is a shapeshifter. I want to see him. What if he looks like Mystique? He needs to either look like Gollum or Mystique.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, he's awake now. Bonnie wakes up in the woods.
Sorry.
Speaking of people who are awake, Shane is there. Silas Shane is there.
Right.
He healed her wounds with herbs and berries. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. And his own broken leg. They got hit by a big rock.
Yeah, and she is suspicious at first. She's like, what happened to you?
And Shane does say, Silas Shane says that Silas healed him, Shane.
AKA me, Silas. I healed
wasn't
myself. I
hurt.
wasn't even hurt. Yeah.
Shane still believes Silas will bring back the dead. Silas had been desiccating for 2,000 years. He needed blood. He drained Jeremy of his blood, and he's dead. Mm-hmm. Dang.
And Bonnie is crazy sad.
Yep. Jeremy is in his bed. Elena is still waiting. Caroline is doing the dishes. She and Stefan talk about how Jeremy is not going to wake up.
Mm-hmm. But they turn on the water so Elena can't hear them.
Right. Elena feels grief and denial more powerfully than anyone else. Mm-hmm. Stefan doesn't want to tell her. Maybe Damon can use the sire bond to convince Elena everything is okay. Elena has heard all this, and she's hoping Jeremy's tattoo is gone, so maybe he's not supernatural anymore. I was like, that's a good point.
It is a good point, yeah. No one else had said that in this crew, so it's a good point that she was like, well, maybe he's human again.
Oh.
Pug's dream.
Pug's dreaming. Elena is going to hope. No way that my brother is dead, she says, and I said, that's what I say too. Caroline calls Ty, leaves a message. He's as far away from Klaus as he can get. And later, when she leaves like her third message or whatever, I was like, they're doing a lot of exposition on this answering machine.
Right. And I'm like, Caroline, you need to stop being like, there's some stuff that's happening. Call me. And leaving him all these messages with vague information. Because eventually his mailbox is going to get full and he will learn nothing.
Yeah.
He'll just be like, oh, there's all these messages of something happened. Or maybe will happen. Like, that's not a good way to leave messages.
Yeah, and I wonder if he did ditch his phone, and in that, the thinking would be like, oh, Klaus could triangulate, like, my signal or whatever. Like, Klaus isn't going to do the technical aspect.
Stuff, no.
He's just going to be, like, talking to different people and, like, sniffing around or something.
Yeah, he's going to be compelling people to be like, have you seen this guy?
Yeah. He's not going to go, like, get FBI data records.
Yeah, I don't think Klaus is, like, sitting on the internet trying to locate people.
I don't think so. All right, Catherine
He only just got a cell phone, like, a couple months ago.
Probably, yeah. Catherine, but he does drive a hybrid as well. He has a Sonata electric hybrid.
Really?
No, I don't know. Catherine has been running from Klaus for a long time. Which, yeah, right? Mm-hmm. Ever since that scene where someone killed that lady.
Yep, and she was the doppelganger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I remember that.
Yeah.
Sort of.
A long, long time ago. Hundreds of years ago.
And for us, like 3 years ago.
Right.
She stole the cure to bargain for her freedom with Klaus.
This is what Stefan is assuming. Mm-hmm. Which is, I mean, like, not a bad assumption, but, like, he's really jumping to conclusions. He could just be like, well, she stole the cure. We don't know if she wants to do this or that, but she has it. Mm-hmm. He's just like, she's going to bargain for her freedom. Like,
what
how do you know? Did you talk to her?
What if she walked in as a human and was like, hey, boys? And then it was like, they immediately killed her. Like, Klaus would be like, psh.
Yeah.
Be like, we have one cure.
No, it's such a waste.
Stefan never thought Elena would stay a vampire forever. Mm-hmm. I think I'm on his side with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like, man, I really thought that she'd be cured.
They need a cover story for Jeremy's death. Go get Matt. What's that smell? It's Jeremy's body. He's decomposing. I said, they went there.
Yeah, gross.
Gross. Get Dr. Fell over here.
Yeah. Caroline and Stefan are making a good plan, I feel like. They're, like, thinking kind of logically for once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, logically, realistically, yeah,
like,
for sure.
Yeah.
Rebecca and Damon are in Nova Scotia, which might be like a fictional place. We don't know. I mean, Mystic Falls, Virginia, Nova Scotia. Like, oh, yes. That's an island that exists. Is Silas around? They're trying to find Bonnie. The hunter shoots an arrow at them. Damon uses Rebecca as a human shield.
Right. He's like, better you than me, because she's immortal.
And then grabs the hunter. Bonnie, still sad about Jeremy.
Yeah. Devastated.
Shane tries to give her some tea.
Yeah, Silas Shane. Mm-hmm. She smacks it out of his hands.
Bonnie makes the fire big. Mm-hmm. Silas needs you, Silas says. Silas Shane says. She's going to help Silas bring everyone back so she can see Jeremy again. Okay, is Silas Shane playing up this thing so hard? Like is Silas Shane so dumb or smart? I mean, does he really think that he can bring these dead people back? Or he's just like, that's my thing that I'm telling everybody. So I got to double, triple down. Like, yes, do all these things. Massacre all these people. Because I definitely will bring all these people back.
I don't know. I mean, I do know, but you don't know.
Yeah. And then it gets tweaked a little bit. It's like, actually, it'll bring down the veil between the purgatory and the real world, and then those church people won't even come back.
Yeah, it's the veil between the supernatural. You probably have it in your notes about how they described it, but yeah, the veil between that. So every supernatural being that has been killed will come back to life. So it's not just like whoever we want that we miss. It's like everyone.
Right. Well, everyone, but not regulars.
No.
Not non-supernatural. So I would kind of be like, I don't want that at all. It's going to be, we know at least 100 dead witches.
Right. Any vampire, any werewolf, any witch, anyone that has ever been killed.
Right, which for
centuries.
A freak like Silas, he's like, I'm into that probably for whatever Gollum reason he has. But like Bonnie, I'd be like, that sounds scary.
Yeah, but Bonnie has already acted like she'll do something crazy for the people she loves. Elena does too, but she has a little bit more moral where she's like, all right, I'd rather just not do it even though I want to, because she'd be like, well, I'll just sacrifice myself to save Jeremy or whatever. But
yeah.
In different situations, but Bonnie gets so emotional about people dying that I think it's easier to convince her than it is to convince someone like Elena.
Right.
Maybe it's her witch energy that makes her that way. I don't know.
Big witch energy. She's going to help Silas bring everyone back so she can see Jeremy again. All right, Elena, true to form, grabs her gurnal. Jeremy is still dead. Dr. Fell is there. Rick used to go through the same thing when he got killed. No vitals, dead until he wasn't. Dead for an entire day one time. Mm-hmm. But
this is what Elena's saying.
Elena doesn't want Jeremy to go crazy like Alark did.
Yeah, so she's like, so we'll just have to keep an eye on him after he comes back to life.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like, sure, we will. Mm-hmm.
It also kind of fell off that he wanted to kill Elena so bad.
Yeah, but they solved that problem when they taught Jeremy to focus on Bonnie.
Right. Right. All right, Stefan.
Yeah. It was kind of too easily solved, I would say.
Stefan comes in. Dr. Fell is talking about Jeremy died of blood loss and a broken neck because Silas drank his blood.
Right.
Soon he'll start to bloat. They're really hammering it in that that he's dead, which is why I don't think so, I said. They were trying to make it so obvious, and I was like, just what a liar would do. Elena says he's not dead and pushes Dr. Fell. No science, just magic.
Yeah.
We don't want this science BS.
Yeah, she's mad at Dr. Fell because Dr. Fell used to use vampire blood to cure patients, and now she's like, and now you're just trying to be logical and use science? She's like, no, this is magical. This is a magical ring thing. He's not really dead.
Right. Matt walks in, sees his Brody, and then Elena's like, it's okay, Bonnie will be here soon. It'll be fine. She solves everything. Kind of holds everyone together.
Yeah. And Matt has a ugly face cry moment here and again later in the car.
His crying in the car was pretty realistic, I thought. Mm-hmm. That's how I get down sometimes. Matt brings tea to Elena. Where are Bonnie and Damon? Lost on the island. Lost Island? Any connection there? Doesn't Damon hate Bonnie? No, he loves her. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
They have a love-hate relationship.
Did
Hey,
you,
there's a thin line, Ash.
it's true. Did you feel like that was random when she said that?
Totes rando. Matt wants to take Elena somewhere. And then, okay, we'll jump to it. We won't jump to it, but he takes her to a dumb place.
It's not a good place.
And his whole thing is stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, but we'll talk about it. All right, Damon has the hunter tied up. I can't pull his name. It's like Gleek Von or something.
Oh, yes. He's some Irish guy.
And by Gleek Von, I definitely mean Galen Von.
There we go.
Oh, pulled it. Gleek Von.
It could be Gleek Von. Why not?
Yeah, if there's another character, it should be Gleek Von. Okay, where were we at? Okay.
Damon was having him tied up.
Has Gleek Von tied up, asked him about Catherine. Damon can't kill him because of the hunter's curse, which that really came into play a lot.
Yeah, otherwise these vampires would be just killing these hunters, no problem.
Yeah.
They could have killed them so many times.
Also, Klaus was like, yeah, I did have it. And it was bad. And we're like, okay.
Yeah. Like,
So it must not have
that.
been that bad because he was like, for 1,000 years, blah, blah, blah.
Well, out of like the grand scheme of things, this probably wasn't that much of a deal, but like thinking about like when you're sick, you're like, this is a work. I'm gonna be sick forever. I'm never gonna get better. And then eventually you're like, oh, that was like 5 days or something.
Right. They can torture him, though. Rebecca and Damon, they talk about torturing him a bunch.
Yeah, Rebecca gets real sick nasty with it.
Yeah. And he decides to squawk.
Yeah.
Catherine said
Pug snores.
Pug snore, that she could help this hunter find Silas. Haley in Nolans knew the info and told Catherine.
Right. So this, like, we didn't really get to hear from Catherine, but she got some insider info and then was able to find the cure by following all the other Mystic Falls peeps.
Then there's some cure talk. Rebecca wants the cure. Damon wanted it for Elena because it's what she wanted.
Because he loves her.
And he didn't care either way. Cure be darned. Shane needs Bonnie back home to help Silas. He was a witch and now a vampire. Silas. The power of 3 massacres of 12. 12 humans, 12 hybrids, a third thing.
That no one has said.
Shane grabs her up. You're going to help me with the 3rd massacre.
And she's like, I'm not going to help you kill 12 people. But then he convinces her because that means that she can bring Jeremy back.
Yep. And it gets all
And
windy.
Grams and such and such.
Yep. Vicky. Timbo. Slab. John Boy.
Gleek.
Gleek Von. It gets all windy. She imagines Jeremy gets all windy. He's not there, but she'll do whatever it takes.
She imagines him. She has like a vision of him, which, as we've seen, is what Silas keeps doing to people because he made Bonnie see Grams before, and he made Professor Shane see his wife before. Mm-hmm. So having your dead loved one tell you what to do is, I guess, a very convincing mode of information giving.
Precisely.
Like if Ghost Pete showed up and was like, "Hey Ash, you need to like write this book or whatever," I'd be like, "Oh, all right, I guess." Like
my ghost could get you to write a book.
I don't know if you told me what to do.
Interesting. I'll keep that in mind. Off topic, but only because I thought of I'm a Shane for you.
That's a good one.
I heard just randomly, I did not drive around a lot today. But in the moments that I did, like truly I drove like 3 miles today. I heard Womanizer and man, I just heard another Britney. I wonder what you want. No, that's Womanizer still. I heard Womanizer and then I heard Give Me More.
Yeah, give me more.
2 classic jams.
Oh, for sure.
Britney Spears has the catalog, Ash.
100%. What, you knew?
Well, no, and Toxic, of course, but I heard Womanizer and Give Me More today, which, if you're like, Britney Spears jams, top 5, go. You're like, oh, oops, I did it again, Toxic, I don't know, I'm a slave, maybe, you know. But are you going to think Womanizer and Give Me More?
Well, those songs are good to parody, which we like to do in our daily life. Like, wait, didn't we even do one about a pug with Womanizer?
I don't know. I
Okay.
just know Zoominizer,
Oh, yeah, zoom in.
where your eyes zoom in on something.
Yeah, and that came way before actual Zoom.
Yeah. It was just like when you look at somebody and your eyes zoom in on them, you're
Your
Zoominizer.
zooming eyes.
But yeah, I was just, it was, Britney Spears was put on my brain today by these 2 classic hits. I'm a shame.
Shame for you.
All right.
Cannot hold it.
Matt drove Elena to the stoner pit.
I know. Also, it seemed like people were in school. Like, there was peripheral people a little bit.
Yep.
And then they go to the stoner pit and they're just talking about the lamest stuff. And then they leave. It's like, but Elena never was like, why are you bringing me to school? We're not, like, someone's going to catch us. Like, we're supposed to be in school and we're not here. We've been in Nova Scotia for 3 days or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
So
right.
that's kind of weird, but
At the stoner
she does say the stoner pit is lame.
At the stoner pit is Vicky graffiti, and after she died, it made Matt smile to see the Vicky graffiti. Also, there's a J and V tag for Jeremy and Vicky. Matt talks about seeing Vicky as a ghost, and he does say maybe people aren't gone completely.
He does say that, yeah.
Have hope, he says.
And he does say, like, in this town, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yeah, in other towns, you die, you're dead. You're gone completely.
Yeah.
But in Mystic Falls, it is a kind of who knows what.
Phone rings. Stefan tells Elena that Damon found Bonnie. There might be something to save Jeremy.
He was like, oh, you were right. Bonnie might be able to help.
See what she says when she gets home. Oh, yeah. And Stefan says there's a plane waiting. And I said, they chartered a plane or something? Okay. And we'll
Which they could take a plane because they didn't have a dead body with them. But Stefan
Right.
and Elena could not have.
And what, Silas is just glad that he's with some independently wealthy vampires? Otherwise, he'd just be trapped on Nova Scotia.
Yeah, Silas is excited. Silas is with a Bennett witch.
Yeah, so he's so lucky that Shane's booty found him.
Well, he told Shane what to do. So Shane was doing what Silas wanted him to do and get Bonnie.
I know, but
and
he was
do all
lucky
the
that
things.
Shane went to Nova Scotia.
Well, it's because he had his dead wife tell him to do it. It's not luck. It's all Silas's plan.
In Nova Scotia, though.
No, he told him that way beforehand.
Where?
Oh, how he got to Nova Scotia the very first time?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
He fell and put blood into Silas's mouth, and his dead wife appeared and told him everything.
The initial time, I thought you were talking about like in the last couple episodes.
I'm talking about Shane is a friggin' douche ex machina or whatever.
Yeah, that first time was very beneficial to Silas, and then everything since has been in Silas's plan. Okay, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. I made the joke of a douche ex machina, but a deus ex machina, and I know I have perfect Latin pronunciation, but it's like the hand of God, like, which propels, in this case, the plot in motion.
Yeah.
Was Shane hiking around, falling in that thing? Why was he doing that? Because he studied up on Quetzia or whatever?
Yeah. He was already, like, into witch stuff because of his wife and everything, but he was on a mission, but it did really work out in Silas's benefit.
Yeah, Silas was waiting for 2,000 years for a fool like Shane. Mm-hmm. All right. Rebecca has...
but then again, are you lucky if it takes 2,000 years? I think it's more like finally.
I guess so. And he hopped on it. Rebecca has Galen Vaughn still. And that hunter's going to use the cure to kill Silas.
The hunter's going to... Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He found Silas's gimp mask. Silas is running around up there maskless.
And they don't know what he looks like.
If you're not doomed, we all are, someone says. And I don't really get that. If you're not doomed, we all are. Or if Silas isn't doomed, we all are. I don't know.
I don't remember who said that.
Caroline calls Ty again. Bonnie pulls up with Damon. Damon looks freaky. I need to talk to my brother.
And he's like, I need to talk to my brother, like, right now.
Yeah. All right, flashback, Shane telling Bonnie something. Then she's telling Elena and Caroline and Matt.
I like this, like, the way this scene is set at the table. It's like a different view than we've seen.
Yeah, and this is some intercutting that...
I think it's good editing. I like this.
There's a lot going on, so if we don't get every single friggin' beat, get over it. They need to kill 12 people for the expression triangle, Ash.
Always, the expression triangle.
Which I think I went to that at UCB at midnight one time. All right, intercut with the three groups. Shane saying if Silas died, he'd end up in purgatory forever because Quetzia hit every stop.
Yeah, she
was like, Silas will not get away with any of this.
No, she thought about every angle. She was going to screw him over no matter what.
Bonnie is Quetzia's descendant. She could drop the veil between this side and the other side. The supernatural beings will be back in the real world. Mm-hmm. Jeremy and Grams and everyone.
Yeah, that's supernatural.
It's supernatural. You can't...
And, like, also, they killed a lot of supernatural people, like, on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Cole.
Like, do they really want them back? You know?
Cole.
That's what they have to decide.
Michelson.
Yeah.
That dad?
The dad, yeah.
Yeah. You can't kill 12 people and invite every monster here. I thought, could she bring Alaric back? Was he supernatural?
Mm-hmm. They mention it. They say, and Rick.
Yeah.
Because he's a vampire hunter.
Worth it.
And would he come back as, what'd you call him?
Dark Alaric.
Dark Alaric, yeah. Or would he be Regs?
I don't know. Phone rings. Lots of phone ringing in this ep. I said, Ash, what if it was Ghostface who called? And he was like, I could also come back. In Scream 7.
Yeah.
Who would win, Ash? Ghostface versus Klaus?
Probably Klaus.
Yeah, probably.
Because Ghostface just falls down all the time.
Yeah, that is a good attribute of Ghostface, is that it's always a new person. I mean, maybe spoilers or no spoilers, I don't know, but and they're like not a pro at it.
Yeah, they're just like some random, well, not random, but there's some kind of regular person. They're not like a trained person. They're not like working at the gym and like doing agility training and stuff. They're just like, I'm just going to try to murder.
Yeah.
And I'm going to fall down a lot.
People that I know and have some connection to.
Right.
It's not Ghostface. It's someone equally as scary to me. April Young. Because I know that she's...
I've been trying to be Jeremy.
know that she's going to kill the scene for me. And then Elena's like, I'm sorry he's dead.
Yeah, she did say it.
And I think
she just hangs up.
I think that's the only moment April's in there.
It is, yeah.
She had to come get her paycheck. Elena goes to Jeremy's room. He's sheeted up. Mm-hmm. He's covered in sheet.
That's a throwback.
She takes the sheet off his face.
Why is there sheet on his face?
There's sheet all over his face. She takes it off.
And all over the bed.
There's sheet on the bed. The bed is covered in sheet. It's really sad what happens. He looks dead. Damon comes in. Elena finally understands that Jeremy is dead.
Yeah, that is sad. The other part was, the sheet part was funny.
She goes downstairs. She's like, where's Bonnie? We need to do this the old-fashioned way. She gets a little, like, manic. She's like, we need a cover story. Let's burn the house down with the body inside it, which this sounds so crazy in this moment, and then they just actually do it later.
I know. And it does sound crazy, and she puts, like, gasoline or whatever, lighter fluid, all over everything, including on Jeremy. She puts it on his dead body.
Right. I mean, that's really taking a step. Like, he's not coming back from that.
No. Like, I'm going to burn him up.
Him getting burned up, I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm. And then they also burned the gournals, too.
Well, okay, she doesn't want to live in this house anymore. I don't want these sketches. I don't want this Xbox.
Yeah, that was so funny. Why did she say that? I mean, I know it was Jeremy's, but it's like... She's trying to be dramatic. Like, if I was Nina Dobrev having to be emotional in this scene of, like, I need to burn this house down. I don't want to have any of these memories. I don't want these drawings. I don't want this Xbox.
Yeah, that would kind of take me out.
It would take me out for sure.
I don't want this PlayStation or this Super Nintendo or this Game Boy Color.
I don't want any of these games or memory cards.
No.
Or
this controller never worked right.
Or what's the thing? I don't want these rumble packs.
Yeah. She's like, I might keep these. You said it, not me.
Yeah, what?
All right.
Oh my gosh, I have to take my glasses off. I'm crying too much.
Would you? She's like, would you bring everyone back to get your drinking buddy Alaric, she says to someone, I don't know. She pours bourbon.
She says to Damon.
She pours some Brothers Bond on everything.
Yeah, she's like, we don't need this. It's like, wait, we should be drinking it.
There's no room in the Gilbert family plot because Jenna and John or whatever filled it up. She drops the match, but Damon catches it. Elena's freaking out. Damon helps her. Damon help her, Stefan says, and Damon says, turn off your humanity.
And Stefan's like, no. Because he kept being like, Damon can use the Starbond to help her, but never would, if Stefan had the Starbond, never would Stefan ask her to turn off her humanity, because that's the thing that Stefan hates about himself the most. Mm-hmm. So he would never want that for Elena. He wants Elena to keep her humanity. It's the only thing she has left.
The irony.
He wanted Damon to be like, You're okay. So she could be like, I'm okay. Like, which he could have done, but instead he's like, just turn it off.
I know, he went for it. He wants to be... All right.
It's too extreme. You could have just been like,
Pete-diction.
Everyone's okay.
Pete-diction. Damon and Elena, both humanity off. Roll up in like his cool car. Vroom, vroom, vroom. They roll up into somewhere. Humanity off. Leather jackets on. And they like walk into a bar or who knows where they're going to go and start like sucking necks and stuff like that.
Okay.
They're going to be a scene like that.
They're going to be humanity off switch couple.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. Bonnie and Clyde. But not that Bonnie.
No.
Elena and Clyde.
Elena and David.
All right. Caroline is on the phone again, calling Ty again, doing exposition on these messages.
This time she tells him that
Jeremy's
dead.
He's going to, come next episode and be like, I just left. I was gone for one episode. All right, I'm here to pick up my paycheck. All right. Matt and Bonnie, it's going to be okay. You'll see, Bonnie says. She'll bring Jeremy back. Shane, Silas, is creeping outside of Bonnie's house. Bonnie's like, they don't think I can do it. They're scared to believe, Shane says. They're talking. Mm-hmm. The young farm dead people won't be coming back, just supernatural people.
Yeah, that was different for you because you were like, this pastor must have done this because he knew he'd be resurrected or whatever. Mm-hmm. Which maybe he was told that and lied to. Definitely. Because we have never seen the conversation between Shane and Pastor Young being like, this is why we need you to do this. We've never seen that.
Which we need to see that, or we need to hear. Pastor Young did it though for his wife to come back though. Right, but yeah,
what
true. If hold on though.
But we've never seen that conversation.
Pastor Young. This should be a scene. Okay. Pastor Young will be like, supernatural people will come back. Jesus was supernatural. Boom! If I die, Jesus will come back.
Oh man. But then if Jesus comes back, does that mean it's the end of the world?
Yep. Which he would be into. Yeah, Pastor Young.
He would be.
He's like, that's what I've been talking about.
That would be nuts.
He's like, I know where I'm going.
That's some good writing.
Would end the show.
Yeah. And then Jesus is there, and then everyone dies. And what would happen to the vampires? Do they go to heaven?
No.
But they love, just like everyone else.
We know where they go. All right. It's what Silas wants, and that's when I was like, is Shane Silas now? Pete-diction.
Oh, yeah, you're like, pause. I think Shane is Silas, like he's in his body.
Yeah. Pete-diction. Silas is now Shane. Or Shane is now Silas.
Yeah, you had stopped mid-episode, and you were like, pause it. I think that Silas is in Shane's body, is what you told me.
Right here, and then literally the next scene, Rebecca walking through the woods at night. It's Shane.
And he's like laying on the ground.
His leg is still broken or whatever. Shane grabs Rebecca's leg and says Silas. I mean, is a Pete-diction if then it happens 1 second later? I paused it, Pete-dicted, and then it happened.
Sure. That's how television works. You have to think about what you think could be happening. You just did it like 1 second before you found out.
That is how TV works. You think about what's happening, and then you see if it happens.
All right, in
Ash.
its basic level.
I was okay, Matt.
I'm defending you. You should appreciate it.
I appreciate. All right, Ash, Matt.
I'm so glad we don't talk like this in our regular life. Everything has a Pete on it.
Yeah.
Don't even try to do it.
I mean, we don't spend that much time together.
Yes, we do.
This is how I talk. But okay, Ash. Matt is in his truck crying. Yeah. And I think you probably don't know why he's actually crying. You might know what the story wants you to think. Okay. He's crying. He's in his truck, right? Uh-huh. And he's crying because it's his truck's birthday, and he forgot to get his truck a cake made of gas.
Did you really write that down?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Okay. Now we're back at Elena looking at the broken picture frame from earlier. Right. It was a flash forward. Mm-hmm. Stefan says to Damon that telling her to turn off her humanity was a mistake. It was all she had left.
Right. And now it's like she's not. She was human Elena, which was one thing. Then she was vampire Elena, which totally changed her in a way, but she wasn't that different in my opinion, but
Mm-hmm.
And then now her humanity's off, and so she's getting further and further away from the girl that Stefan loves and fell in love with. And I think that's also what scares Stefan.
Right.
Like, how is she going to love him now if she has no humanity?
Yeah, maybe he could find someone his own age.
Which age?
Maybe he could move on.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Damon says she has nothing. And then Stefan's like, but she had you. And he's like, I'm not enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, it's not about you, Damon.
But Stefan and Damon make up, and they play a fake Iron and Wine song on the soundtrack.
Oh, that's funny.
It's like Steven Johnson or something. Because we watch with subtitles, so the tracks come up sometimes. Elena's walking around the house, lights a match. She really does want to burn down her house, I said, and then I said she does.
Yeah, they do try to stop her a little bit. Like, are you sure? Like, you can't come back from this.
And then I said, okay, I guess Jeremy is really dead, but maybe he'll be a ghost bro now. Mm-hmm. Matt can see ghosts. I said, R.I.P. Jeremy, Vampire Diaries are burning. Mm-hmm. Logo.
Yeah.
Fangs. Two fangs.
Two fangs.
Two fangs.
It's a really good episode. It's sad. R.I.P. Jeremy. The Silas saga has not yet ended. Catherine's with the cure. Elena has no humanity. A lot happened for sure.
Wow.
And Bonnie's going to try to kill 12 people.
Yeah. Who are these 12 featured extras she's going to kill?
So what do you, so we gave the fangs. What are your Pete-dictions for real? Because, like, they set up so much stuff.
I can see, Bonnie is going to set up some 12 people to get killed, and then she's going to be like, I can't do it. I miss Jeremy so much. You know?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so she won't be able to go through with it?
No.
And then what will Silas do if you think that's what will happen?
I think Catherine or somebody, but probably Catherine, she has the cure, is going to swoop in and be like, well, you thought I was the bad person, but I actually did the right thing, and gives Silas the cure, and he dies. I want to see him friggin' Gollum out. He looked like a creepy Gollum in that tattoo. Mm-hmm. I want to see him Gollum out and be like, blah, 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 and then like, here's the cure.
And then turn to like a...
And then be like, me.
Okay.
What? How's he going to look when he dies? I mean, maybe he'll finally look peaceful or something like that, which I think that's what happens to the real friggin' Schmeagol or whatever.
Like don't ask me.
Lord of the Rings heads, don't come at me, but sometimes when these monsters are monsters for a long time and then they die, they get their, like, peaceful moment or whatever.
Yeah, well, like Beauty and the Beast turns into a handsome prince, you know? Mm-hmm. Princess and a frog turns to a prince.
Turns back to a frog at the end. Jeremy will be an all-star as a ghost bro. Catherine will have her moment. Stefan and Damon will be cool for a minute.
What's Elena gonna do with no humanity? This motorcycle moment?
Yeah, that'll happen.
Okay.
And they'll be like, I don't know, because, it's Ep 15, and then we got 6 more Eps or whatever till the finale. They'll build something else. Klaus, what's he going to do? He's going to be like, that was my cure.
Well, he just wants to destroy the cure. So if I feel, well, never mind, I won't say anything. I can't Pete-dict.
Right, he'll be happy or whatever.
What was I going to say? This episode does seem like it would be like a mid-season finale or like a finale, but it came in a strange place.
Yeah.
was
Pug
good.
snores in a open space.
Pug snores.
All right, we did the fangs, we did the Pete-dictions. Ash,
What?
no game tonight,
Okay.
but maybe a giveaway?
Oh, that's exciting. What are you giving away, Pete?
Ash, the Vampire Diaries podcast is teaming up with those fellas over at Kill Streak.
Yay.
The Kill Streak Bros, Kill Streak podcast, they talk about series of horror movies. In fact, their very first series, what are they talking about now? They're talking about Critters right now. Their very first series, though, was the Evil Dead franchise. Interesting. Evil Dead Rise is out in theaters right now. I got my greasy little palms on a very large Evil Dead Rise vinyl poster thing.
It's huge and nice.
And scary.
It's scary. I mean, like, nice quality, but
Yeah.
not nice looking
No,
because
no.
it's scary.
It's like the poster. It's the mommy loves you to death thing.
We said I threatened to put it in our kids' room if they were
Yeah,
bad.
both of our kids, we
Just
said we're
kidding.
putting this in your room.
Mommy loves you.
But look, we're doing a giveaway. Me and the Kill Streak Bros. It'll be up on at High Dive Publishing and at Kill Streak Pod. Probably tomorrow. I'll put it up. They'll talk about it next week. But go to at High Dive Publishing on Instagram. Go to at Kill Streak Pod. You'll check it out. You'll see the deets. But basically, we're giving away the big poster, the aforementioned Stephen King. We're giving away Dr. Sleep, which is the sequel to The Shining. And I thought Dr. Sleep was awesome, the book.
Yeah.
I'm giving away both horror from the High Dive anthology volumes 1 and 2.
Wow.
And then a little promo pack from High Dive Publishing.
That's
So
exciting.
go there. You're going to have to follow High Dive and Kill Streak. You're going to have to like the post.
Easy enough. A little boop boop.
And for bonus entries, you can tag a horror lover. And you can post the official post on your stories.
Share the post.
And tag High Dive Publishing and Kill Streak Pod.
Yay, do it. That's going to be fun. That's a lot of goodies.
Yep. And I'm paying the shipping, so, you know, it really means something to me. But Vampire Pod and Kill Streak Pod, we're trying to... Vampire Pod? Yeah. The Vampire Pod and Kill Streak Pod, we're just trying to get out there a little bit more.
Yeah, spread the word and win some fun stuff.
And Ash, check out how this was a bit of a happenstance. I text my buddy over at Kill Streak. I said... And you know the story of how I got this huge poster.
Yeah.
I text my buddy. I say, hey, I got this big poster of Evil Dead Rise. He said, oh, we're covering Evil Dead Rise next week. They're not even doing Evil Dead. They were doing Critters. It just happened that their first series they did years ago was Evil Dead. So
they're
whenever a
doing-
new one comes out, they do the new one. They just did Scream 6. Check that out.
Right. Because you're not going to go back and do the whole series again. You just do the new ones.
You just
that
do the
come.
new one as it comes out.
That makes sense.
It's a happenstance.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, check that social media post out, and
Yeah.
you can win a real life poster.
And a lot of other fun things.
Yep.
Cool. Do it. Do it.
All right, we're closing in on this season. Very exciting.
I know. So exciting.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.